Yep. I'm gonna stand up.
And welcome to Delran. We're back where we were 48 hours ago, Kevin, and we're getting ready for, this time the boys are in town, getting ready for their second round playoff match of Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski behind the camera. And Kevin, back to the scene of the crime from last year in a rain-soaked game. Just a more powerful Delran team took care of business here, but very different story here this year.
Still a very good Delran team, maybe not the caliber team that you saw last year, which not only was tops in Group 2, one of the top teams in the state, but in any event, a very good team. Not as big as Delran. That's one thing they had last year. As Delran was last year, they had a lot of height in the middle of the field, and they controlled a lot of the physical play. You're not going to see that, but they're still very skilled, especially, obviously, at the forward position. A lot of quick passing in tight areas, and it's definitely going to be a challenge for the defense, no question about it.
Field conditions have gotten a little bit better this time around. The field was mowed from the last time that we were here just about 48 hours ago, and looks a little bit better, but there still are some really, really big divots going on right now in the field.
There you see Coach Pete Marley's, and Kevin, what do you think's going through his mind right now?
Well, I think, you're going to have your normal nervousness, but I think he feels confident because you've got a team that's just playing well. And the other thing we talk about in these playoff runs, you have to have a little bit of luck, a little bit of karma. And in that last game, if you remember, you had the one would-be goal that got knocked out by Matt. Matt Michelli. And, when you get things like that going your way, you feel like, maybe this might be your year. And couple that, guys, with the fact that they're really playing well. All the opportunities they had the other day, to me, that was impressive. And I go back to a couple weeks ago, the big win against Haddonfield in Haddonfield, where it's very tough to play. This is just a team that's just playing very well.
Sterling coming to this game 12-7-1 overall. Delran 14-5-1. Delran the number 2 seed. Sterling the number 7 seed. And we'll look at the bracket throughout the game. The winner's either going to face Haddonfield or Oakcrest in the semifinal round. And Sterling's had some success against Haddonfield this season. Played probably their best game of the year against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they did. The only thing is, and again, they kind of erased that myth of not being able to beat Haddonfield at Haddonfield. The game would be there. They're a higher seed. But I always think when you're thinking about Group 2, Delran is the team you have to get past. Granted, they're very good teams, but boy, what a boost of confidence it would be if they were be able to win today.
Well, the girls had some success here just 48 hours ago, hoping the boys can have the same success. What we'll do is we'll get off to a quick break, come back from the break, and we should be just about ready for kickoff here from Delran. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski, live coverage of Sterling boys soccer, second round, South Jersey Group 2 soccer playoffs. Back after this. Welcome back to Delran, New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski here just 48 hours ago for the girls' team. Now it's the boys' turn as they take on the Delran Bears here in the second round of the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. Glad you joined us here online for our broadcast. And Kevin, it should be a great, very physical matchup again against these two teams that have some history more recently.
No question about it. And like we said, this is the mountain for Sterling to climb. Obviously, last year, losing to a very good Delran team, one of the top teams in the state. But look for Delran right here to get off to a quick start. And, you know, I think a lot of it's going to be how Sterling withstands some of the rushes, especially early on.
Coming into this game, Delran, the number 2 seed, they come up with a 7-1 win over Barnegat, who was number 15. And of course, on Channel 19, you saw Sterling beat Middle Township 2-1. The winner of this gets Oakcrest, number 11, or Haddonfield, number 3.
Sterling would love to play that game. That game's set to kick off on November 5th. So that Esk uniforms. Sterling looking for a quick run here. Bruce Williams, a sophomore, tries to give chase, and Sterling with the first bit of offensive pressure. And, you know, we were talking about this on the way over, Kevin, and we expect a lot of physical play more in the second half as these two teams try and feel each other out.
And the first minute or so here, you see Sterling doing a good job winning the 50-50 ball. So that's a good sign of what you could see moving on in this first half.
Looking up the near side for Cole Gifford, and goes out of play. Also in the area was Chris Hunt, the midfielder.
And Sterling is such an emotional team, Rob, that I think getting off to a good start is so important for this team.
And we saw how much that benefited the girls in their contest. And they jumped out to a 2-0 lead at the half. Hopefully Sterling can follow suit as Jake Scully is going to run all the way up from his back position for the throw-in. We saw a lot of that in the last round game, the 2-1 overtime winner against Middle Township.
Well, Jake Scully, especially when he throws in even further down from here, can almost be like a corner kick.
Thrown right in and on frame. Netminder comes out and plays it.
And, guys, that's the area where you want to put that, because if you're able to get ahead on that, that could be a tip, and it's in the net.
Yeah, that was perfect.
The goalkeeper for Delran is number 1, Burkan Halaglu. You have to think that the first goal in this game will be huge. I'm sure Delran's going to key on Brian Andrade, who had both goals in their overtime win. As Sowers comes out and makes the play. Good job by Mike Sowers. Alertly comes out and makes the play to his left.
I just think that Sterling plays with such emotion that they get real high, and that's why they need to get something going early, because they can also get real low.
Delran spreads their scoring around. Their leading scorer in terms of goals anyway is Jason Vandermark, number 23. He's a senior forward, has 14 points on the season, but you look at some of their other goal totals. Chris Hunt has 8, Cole Gifford has 5, Frankie Taylor 6, and Daniel Stroline, who we mentioned last year, has 6 as well. So they're really spreading it around.
Decent amount of balance, yeah. You can't key on any one player.
Ronan Loftus sends it inside and punched away by Michael Sowers and headed out of trouble for Sterling, and now cleared way out. 1-on-3 on that far side. Getting tripped up, I believe that's at least Sterling going with the white jerseys today. Bruce Williams was giving chase there. 1-on-3 gives Sterling a chance to kind of retreat and create some offense here deep inside Delran territory.
I'll tell you what, that last start, that head ball was very close in front of the net. That was a very dangerous play. Almost scored.
Just about 4 minutes into this scoreless first half. Winner again will either face Haddonfield, the number 3 seed, or Oakcrest, the number 11 seed. Thrown inside the 18, headed away a couple times by the Bears, and now the Bears use the header of their own off of Frankie Taylor, and he springs the Bears forward.
Yeah, this is that transition game.
Taylor, 1-on-1 against Sowers. Sowers comes out, makes the play. What an amazing
play early on by Michael Sowers. You can see right now he's going to have to come up big in this game for Sterling to win.
Forces the first corner kick of the game. Did it away outside the 18, giving chase is Jake Scully. Good job by Scully to turn things around. Here comes Scully the other way. 2-on-3, through ball, looking on that near side, or excuse me.
And actually, we were saying the last game, kind of put a divot, big divot in that fence, knocked that right down, and that was just how emotional they were.
They've actually extended the fence line here for the fans for this game, anticipating a large group of fans. When we came in, that fence was not up 2 days ago. Now they extended it about 30 yards.
And again, you aim with them off to that right side.
And unlike at Sterling, they're right on top of you.
Yeah.
I don't know officially if Karina O'Neill had some fun with the fans on the near side, on that far side where they.
It was more over to that side in the last game.
Throw in from Scully inside the 18, coming out and taking a swing and a miss was Halaglu.
And if you've ever been in one of them, it is just a flat-out war. It's like a rugby scrum, but everybody's off the ground.
Well, I could see Kelsey Bokaj and one of the defenders jockeying for position.
Burrell with a skipping shot right in on Sowers, makes unofficially his third save already, and we're not even 7 minutes into this contest.
You could see Delran's going to fire away, even if they're a little further out. Team that has forwards that can really turn and let it go.
Chris Hunt connects with McLaughlin. McLaughlin makes a turn and gets a shot off, trying to center that, and somehow winds up in the arms of Mike Sowers, who wisely comes off of his line to make the play.
Well, that's a nice play by McLaughlin. Looked like he was defended well, but just kind of went around a defender and had room but didn't have any forwards crashing the net.
Williams turns it over, whistle, and it will be a foul against Delran.
There's Simon Rangthang. Could be one of our key players in this game today from the right side.
Simon, 5 goals and 7 assists on this season. Just a shout out Mr. Riley's class. Just sent me a text, said, hey, we're listening and watching. I hope you guys sound great.
I hope you enjoyed the news story of the new kitchen.
Looked unbelievable.
It's state of the art, really.
Well, that's what the reporter said.
Opportunity here for Sterling. Delran kind of caught in their own end here, in some trouble, and finally get a chance to clear it out off the foot of Jason Vandermark. And we're going to switch fields now. Stroline goes to his left, connects with McLaughlin. McLaughlin playing catch with Hunt. Hunt with some room. Centers, and nobody home for the Bears, but nobody home defensively for Sterling as well. Now it's on the far side. Left-handed shot, and just wide.
Oof.
What an absolute rifle.
And we've seen shots, maybe not to that extent, from a couple of the forwards. Guys, when you see that, you look at the stat sheet, you can tell why they have so much bounce.
Grab it, but fortunately his defense was there, and Sowers just turned around and gobbled it up.
Well, good job by Sterling of getting a lot of bodies right around the ball, not allowing any of the forwards of Delran to get in there and close.
Sowers has been busy in the early going. It's about 9 minutes into this game, still scoreless. Glad you joined us here live from Delran, second round of the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, and Tad Kozaneski. Delran was trying to play an official and call that offside, and the official right there, you may have heard it say, no, he was not.
Yeah, I love this crowd mic, especially down this end. That crowd mic guy's a good sound engineer.
Like to thank Chuck in the truck for that one.
Yeah, Chuck hooks us up.
McLaughlin centers off the head, and Sowers, some miscommunication there, and they're going to call that a handball.
Wow.
That's going to be a penalty kick.
Just outside the box right there.
Is it outside the box? No, that's definitely inside the box.
They're at the 6 right now.
I'm sorry, yeah. That was.
Is this indirect, Rob, whatever this is going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be indirect, and now Sterling's going to have to set up one heck of a wall here.
How the heck?
The official's going to mark off 10 yards, but if he go 10 yards,
you're in the net.
You're in the net.
Just line up the whole team in the net.
Chris Hunt is the closest player to the ball for Delran, and it appears that Chris Hunt will take the shot. Sterling going to set up a 5-minute
for Delran early.
Hunt with a shot just wide of the bar. Deflect. It was a spinning shot. Had some English on it and went off the side of the bar and stayed in play. Sterling retreating now, Simon Renthang. Trying to find Dromgoole, no good there. Williams giving chase, cannot. Pick it up, and now a whistle. And they're going to stop the clock.
It's against Sterling. I'll tell you what, Kevin, Sterling is taking the full blunt of this storm right now.
No question about it. You had the one turn and shoot opportunity, and obviously the opportunity right there. But give credit to Sterling, you know, taking on Delran's best and still keeping him off the board.
Looks like Sterling's going to send somebody off.
Kelsey Bocage going to check out of the game, and checking in for the first time. You see her, Yagmerkaya.
You can hear all the communication going on here now. Scully's going to come up and ask for the 10. Here it comes from the referee. Talk about starting early with your back against the wall. Oh, my.
Ronan Loftus, the senior back, will take this free kick for Delran with a three-person wall in front of him just 10 yards away.
So Delran continues now, even after the goal. They are controlling pace. Sterling chasing all over the field as the Knights trail at 1-0. This is a very good Sterling team. But I'll tell you what, this Delran team, very, very good. Splits two defenders there. They do a great job, Kevin, of just spreading the field.
Yeah, this is a textbook case of doing that the way they've done it, you know, in the last minute or so to start this, after getting that first goal.
Cole Gifford gets the goal, his 6th of the season, the assist to Frankie Taylor. And Sterling is back up against the wall. We saw this a lot. And, you know, it's how you respond to goals after they're scored. But Delran, give them a lot of credit. They were knocking on the door, and it was only really a matter of time.
So Sterling trying to fight their way back into this one. And boy, I'll tell you what, I can understand where the goalie could get a little confused in that. We had a great shot. I assumed the shot was going to the net. And then when he kicked it, I'm like, wow, that's way wide. But they got a head on it and got it into the net.
1-0 West Deptford on a PK over on the girls' side of things. So both Sterling soccer squads find themselves trailing by a goal early on.
And this is a situation Sterling's been in before. Recently in that Haddonfield game, if Sterling's going to get a kick there. They were behind in that game and were able to play themselves back in. So if you're going to give up a goal, if you give it up early, you have a lot of time to recover.
And that, guys, that's one thing over this last 5-6 game run. And, you know, they had those instances where they weren't playing well in the middle of the year, but they've always responded well to adversity. And what you mentioned, Tad, was absolutely true. And at Haddonfield, yeah, they really had their backs against the wall, but came back, got a goal, and once they got that, they were playing with a lot of momentum and took control of the game.
Well, Delran is in absolute control of this one early on.
Service sent in by goal scorer Cole Gifford, who just picked up his 6th goal. He has 12 points on the season. Frankie Taylor picks up the assist, his 12th point of the season.
And they have a multifaceted offensive approach. They work well with the ball. You have a lot of one-touch passes, give-and-go passes, but they've also got a lot of speed on the outside.
Sterling defense has their work cut out for them here in this first half. They've been working hard, as there's a 6 kick for Mike Sowers and the rest of the Silver Knights. Sterling has yet to really mount any form of offense so far.
Haven't had a shot on net. I mean, Delran absolute with a stranglehold on this one. And that comes with the tactics now of Coach Marley's to figure out what he can do to generate some offense for his team. I love this crowd, Mike. You really get a sense of what's going on the field.
Scully with the left-footed boot sends it across midfield. Andrade, the first time we've called his name today. No, it's certainly not going to be the last. Andrade, 14 goals, 7 assists on the season. And he's the reason that Sterling is here today playing against these Delran Bears. Had the overtime game winner in the waning moments of the first overtime period against a very, very impressive Middle Township team who gave Sterling everything they could handle, but their goaltender really kept them in the game. That could have easily been a 5-1 game.
Oh, no question about it. Sterling had more of the attack time and just outplayed them, but sometimes the team that gets all the attack time doesn't come out on top.
Well, the history from last year, Sterling scored the opening goal in a cold and rainy game last year, and Sterling went up 1-0 and then subsequently gave up the next 3 and lost 3-1.
And they
the girls team has just tied it 1-1 on a goal by Faith Dawson.
Well, we were just talking about responding to adversity, and there you have it, just like that. Girls are knotted up. Well, here's an opportunity with Jake Scully, who, like we said, his throw-ins are almost like corner kicks.
Throw in a whistle.
Are you kidding me? This is
And a
happening
whistle.
all over the field. It's being called on one team. He's able to establish position.
That's
They've been
what you're
called
hearing in
for
the
that.
background is Coach Marley's.
Since the very first one. They knew before this game they were going to ask for that foul.
And there really is a lot of physical play when they're jockeying around prior to Scully throwing the ball in. And it's one of those ones as a referee, you got to gauge. What do you let go? What do you call? You don't want the game to get out of control.
And it's almost if you're a basketball fan on an inbound under a basket where everyone's pushing for position.
Foul on Vandermark.
If you aren't,
And that goal by Faith Dawson for the girls is the first goal that Sterling has scored against West Deptford all season. Scully on the restart for Sterling, and they're going to set things up right around the 18. Here comes the left-footed service from Scully. Great ball, but falls right into the hands of Burkant Halaglu.
You guys got to work back for Casey and Brian.
little too long.
Halaglu has 62 saves on the season.
Right about, like you said, just a little long, but the basic idea of
The junior forward just unleashed it, and Sowers equal to the task.
well, Sowers looking there like he did in that Haddonfield game. That's a huge save by Mike Sowers.
That looked like a defensive breakdown led to that play, and he bailed him out. It's amazing, too. Delran gets one rush up the field, and boom.
Another corner for Delran. That was their third, a whistle.
No play, I believe I just heard. They still have a player coming off the field.
That's what we should have run a mic down on the other side, too.
Chuck in the truck is losing it.
Yeah, Todd, I agree with you. That was impressive, the way they got upfield in a hurry and transition. And they're definitely, in all areas of the field, having instances where they're blown by the defenders.
Well, all the offense is down at West Deptford, down 295. And as you see that one just pinball around and go out of play for a 6 kick. West Deptford has just taken the lead 2-1.
That was quick.
Insert circus music here.
Wow.
A lot of goals being scored in the opening, what could be 20 minutes of that game down at West Deptford.
But our game just 1-0 thus far. Sterling, though, needs to mount some offense, some counterattack if they can get it together. And, Kevin, that's what makes this sport so difficult. Coach Marley's has to find a way through substitutions or yelling out in the field. There's no timeouts. There's no breaks until halftime. So if you're being out-schemed a bit, it's very little that a coach can do.
Dromgold with the turn, with 3 brown shirts in front of him. Those odds are never very good, and the defense holds true.
Delran's doing a good job of keeping Brian Andrade, the leading scorer for Sterling, off the ball. Really hasn't had much of an impact at all in this first half.
How fitting, you mentioned it, Rob, that Andrade really has not touched the ball.
He really hasn't.
Great deal. On cue, there he is.
There we go, okay. He heard us.
Headed away by Fountain. Sterling a chance to clear, and they do. Well, it seems like every loose ball or 50-50 ball, Delran's right there. Just under 20 minutes remaining here. 1-0 Delran, but they've controlled every single bit of play here early on.
You can see almost, I hate to say the word confusion, but you can almost see, Kevin, on that last little set right there. There seems enough pressure is being put on Delran. It's leading to some confusion.
Yeah, and you're turning around if you're Sterling. You get the ball, you turn around, and there's this Delran defender right in their face.
Renthang, one-on-one, makes the turn. Renthang with some speed, sends it across, but kicked away by Eastburn. And now Delran will counter. Will give and go with McLaughlin. McLaughlin tries to cut it back inside, gets around Linez. Nice run here by McLaughlin. Long run by McLaughlin. Sets up this cross. Player there had a great opportunity. I believe that was Nick Eastburn on the far side. And if he gets a foot on that, it's 2-0.
That's a missed opportunity because he was wide open, and boy, if he was able to one-time that, Michael Sowers really would have never had a shot.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do on that one. Saying hello to everyone watching along live here on our live YouTube stream. Glad you're with us.
Winner of this contest will face either Haddonfield, the number 3 seed, or Oakcrest, who upset West Deptford 2-1. Sure, Sterling would love to have a crack at Haddonfield again. However, they have to get past Delran first. Nice defense there by Sterling.
Ooh.
And a hard foul from behind. I'm surprised it's not a card there, and it looks like there's going to be one.
Okay. Yeah, Matt Michelli is
dead. Now he's alive.
Yeah, okay, he's back up, but he was kind of pulled back up, and he's really looks like he's favoring the one leg there, right leg. But
looks like it was Frankie Taylor, number 4 for Delran, that got a piece of Michelli and took him down. That was a clear-cut card there, and Taylor's going to have to be substituted for.
How about this?
Karina O'Neill just scored. 2-2. All tied up at West Deptford.
So in 20 minutes, Sterling scores more goals than they have in the first 2 games.
I think we're looking at an 8-7 game over on the girls' side eventually.
Jeez.
And this is after Sterling got outscored 6-0 in 2 meetings.
That's unreal.
All of a sudden has 2 in the first half.
It's amazing how talented this Delran team is. I'm going to be interested to see what Coach Marley's can do once they get to halftime to try and turn this game around.
And a complete team. They defend well. They're physical on defense and throughout the middle of the field. They work well with the ball, and we saw the speed and transition that really impressed us.
Mr. K, we have a reporter at West Deptford. One Braden Sheehan is getting some pictures and video for you. So
nice.
Shout out to Braden Sheehan, who's soon to be a YouTube sensation if he isn't already.
Oh, he is already, yes. Search him on YouTube. We're going to see him. We'll have him in our TV department starting, I believe, next year. Key member of the Yellen soccer team down there. I'll tell you what, but Andrade's very good at using his body and not picking up fouls. Yeah. Very strong, muscular guy.
Opportunity here for Sterling. One of few opportunities that they have. Do they get a corner? They do. Their first corner of the game, going to come on that far side.
And guys, I think the restarts are going to be the key to Sterling's offense, whether it's a throw-in or a corner right here. They're really having trouble moving up the field, passing, and even connecting on any of their passes. So this is just a great opportunity for Simon Renthang here.
Simon cues it up, sends it in. Nice bending ball inside the 18. It's going to pinball back to him. Sends it in yet again. Sterling, shot here, blocked away by Cole Gifford, who just completely ran in. It was a human wall there. Sterling somehow going to get a shot on frame off the foot of Kelsey Bokaj. But the first real threat from Sterling comes with just about 15 minutes left to go in this first half.
And Sterling absolutely needed that from a standpoint of confidence, because we've talked the entire broadcast at how Delran, to this point, is just dominating this game. And this is how they spread you out. They get it wide, pull everybody out, open up the field, and then work their diagonal passing game.
Just about 16 minutes remaining in this first half. 1-0 Delran on the goal by Cole Gifford. Have been a few stoppages, but the clock that you see on the screen right now is relatively accurate.
We have some of the best clock operators in the TV industry working that clock right now. Chuck in the truck.
Chuck in the
Took
truck,
the
doing a great
words
job.
right out of my mouth.
Chuck.
Audio, graphics, and video.
He gets nobody but the best for these playoff games.
Chuck was with Sports Video for a long time.
25 years ago.
Near side, Simon Renthang with some speed and a little bit of room, but quickly collapsed by Ryan Burrell. Good job defensively by Burrell. Opening here for Gifford. Gifford trying to go right down the middle field, goes one-on-one with Sowers, and he deflects it right out of play for another corner. Sowers has been on his game so far in this one.
And he's had to be. Gifford right there blew past the defender and gave himself a great opportunity. And even now, Delran's got a great opportunity with the corner. But that was right, guys. That was right, point blank opportunity.
Sowers has done a good job of reading the play as it's 30, 40 yards away from it, knowing when to come in and when to hold.
McLaughlin will take the corner. Sterling flirting with danger here. McLaughlin sends it in, low line drive, headed away by Scully. Williams heads it forward to himself. And it'll be a Sterling throw. Scully looking to go quickly. Going to take another 20 yards up the field, but now the official's going to send him back.
No, no, no.
He tried. He almost got away with it.
Hey, got to try. Right in front of that student section we talked about.
Not very vocal yet.
They are relatively quiet today.
They're a second half and overtime super fan section.
And a penalty kick situation. Whistle foul against Sterling. Andrade doesn't agree. And you can hear the official say you got to go straight up, can't go into the back.
He says, okay.
Yes, sir. Under 14 remaining. Sterling looking for some semblance of offense. They can't find anything right now. It's been all Delran. Whistle. And that's going to go against Simon Renthang.
And you could see Brian Andrade frustrated in trying to really get in front of that pass, get things going the other way. Trying to turn some defense into offense, but came up short. And again, you got to give a lot of credit to what Delran is doing.
This is almost the same spot as before, Rob.
Yep. Chris Hunt will set it up. Ronan Loftus in the area as well. And it appears that it's going to be Loftus. We'll set up the manicure of the turf there a little bit, which is much better on the far side of the field than it is directly in front of us. Two-man wall for Sterling. Loftus, right-footed service, headed away by Sterling's Matt Michelli, and deflects out of play.
And that was, had Michelli not gotten to that looked like that ball was headed for a Delran forward and a one-time shot that, again, is probably one of the tougher ones for a goalie to defend against.
How many near misses can this team withstand?
Winner of this game faces Haddonfield or Oakcrest. Some winners on the other side. Top seed boarded down. A 1-0 winner against Point Pleasant Borough, the number 16 seed. Something you don't see every day. I would say Bordentown escapes that one. Pleasantville and Delsea, the coin flip 8-9 matchup. Bordentown wins convincingly 3-0. Cinnaminson and Manasquan also move on the other half of the bracket.
You really got to find a way to get Andrade in the flow of this game.
Has been quiet, and there he is with
goes.
some room in the middle of the field. Andrade. Defense collapsing on him. Nice feed to Vanzuala. And the defense surrounds him and takes it away. Here comes Taylor. Sterling maintaining possession here momentarily, and then it's kicked away by Delran.
And here's that restart. And Delran really did such a great job there with Andrade. He gets the ball right on him, has very little room to operate.
Scully can easily get this inside the 18.
Scully waiting for his teammates to get into position on the throw-in from about 20 yards out. Nice throw by Scully inside the 6. And the keeper, Burkan Halaglu, comes out and erases any threat of Sterling offense.
One of the differences so far on those balls up in the air, Kevin, it seems like anytime Delran's near their offensive net, they're able to get ahead on it. Sterling is not.
Yeah, they're getting up in the air, and again, we talked about whenever there's bodies in front, Delran looks like they're winning the physical battle to put themselves in that position.
About 10.5 remaining.
They said it's 9.5 now.
9.5? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Klink.
Mr. Clank coming over, giving us clock updates.
Remember his days as a movie star back in the 60s, or TV star?
That's right.
So we adjusted our clock as well. Thank you, Sean Clank, for giving us the clock update. There was a couple stoppages for obviously the goal and the yellow card.
How come we never called him Colonel?
We could always start.
Yeah, maybe today.
Onside play for Williams. Williams giving chase on the far side, can't catch up to it, and will be a Delran throw. Aiden Dromgold going to check back into the game for Sterling. Mark Olivo, the senior back, will get some time into the game. Replacing Drew Fountain.
And Olivo coming back in the game was really instrumental. We talk about them winning that physical battle when there's guys jockeying out in front with the corner kicks and the throw-ins. Olivo really played a big role defensively in that situation for Delran.
McLaughlin tiptoeing the line.
How many times have we seen teams being out?
To the turf. Olivo still on the turf, adjusting his shoe. In the meantime, Burrell and the rest of the Bears trying to generate some offense. Sterling going to send 2 substitutions into the game. Alex Vasquez checking in, and Simon Renthang going to check back into the game for Sterling. Would love to talk to Coach Marley, as you guys mentioned this earlier, find out what his plan is for the second half.
Well, that's going to be key. They got to change their tactics somehow and find out what they can do to get themselves back in this game.
Elbow in the back by Simon Renthang, but a nice presence of mind there by Alex Linez to kick it out of play.
Mr. Goffredo always having fun. Doing hand puppets for us.
Goffredo. Enough said.
The clown prince of Sterling, boys soccer.
That's right.
Mike Goffredo. The Max Packet,
That's right.
if you will,
Yeah.
of Sterling boys soccer. Of course, only people our age would
Know that, yes.
that reference.
I'm just going to be quiet and let you guys tell the story.
Yeah.
Foul against Delran, and Sterling an opportunity to clear it.
Why?
Chris Hunt just kicked the ball back to Jake Scully.
Why would you let him stand there?
And here come the games.
God.
They're going to be played nice, almost off the head of Brian Andrade, trying to search for Aiden Dromgold. That Delran defense is strong on that back line.
And they're finding their way towards Andrade, definitely swaying towards him.
Foul on Jake Scully.
The Delran end of the field.
Quick restart. Delran was going for it. The official did not agree, and if the whistle hadn't blown, that could have been an odd man rush the other way.
Yeah, because a lot of times players will put their heads down and kind of jog it back. That's what Sterling was doing. Delran almost caught him.
Well, the cloud cover has rolled in here in Delran, and it doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon, something we didn't see 48 hours ago. And if you told me that we'd be broadcasting on November 1st in 75-degree weather.
In T-shirts.
In T-shirts, I'd be okay with it. Dromgold turns and blocks it away. Can't find it, and now does. Now it's going to, with the backspin, go off the head of Scully. Olivo sends it forward.
Second time we've seen Scully really jump in to the offensive end just in an effort to try to get something going here for Sterling.
I mean, he's skilled enough. He has some goals. He can go on a run. Just somebody has to see it and cover for him.
Foul on Linez. And some dangerous territory. This is around the spot where Delran scored their first and only goal of the game. This time it's a little bit more towards the middle of the field. And it will be Mark Olivo to restart it for the Bears. Olivo tried to bend that one in and didn't get all of it, and it goes out of play for a Delran throw. Sowers comes out, scoops it up with just about 3.5 remaining. 1-0 Delran on the goal by Cole Gifford. The assist to Frankie Taylor. Sowers has been busy, more notably in the opening dozen minutes of the game. But he has been tested for sure. Easily Sterling's MVP right now.
No question about it.
Sterling defense sliding everywhere, trying to clear this ball out as Delran continues to apply the pressure, looking for that comfort goal to put them up 2. Another 50-50 ball won by Delran, and they're just finding the open space between their teammates. And a lot of control by Delran.
Yeah, you're seeing them connect on 4, 5 passes at a time, whereas Sterling, on the other hand, is lucky just to connect on a pass when they go on into the Delran end of the field.
Delran throw right in front of their cheering section. They go back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin has it deflected away by Van Zwala. Now McLaughlin again going to go down the line, this time over to McLaughlin. They are everywhere today. Taylor in the corner, trying to force a corner. Do they? No. It'll be a goal kick for Sterling. Just about a minute and a half remaining. Sterling going to make what could be the last substitution.
Good effort there by Taylor on that far end. You know, he's a kid that has got some grit, plays hard on the ball, has a lot of skill, a lot of speed. He's one of the guys who was able to get ahead of the pack on a few of those opportunities. When you're talking about a very young team, Sterling starting, 4 or 5 freshmen on that girls' side?
In the penalty kick.
Ways to play for restarts down in this end. That's probably your best shot.
So what we'll do is we'll get off to a quick break, come back with second half action and analysis. It's 1-0 Delran in the second round of the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. 1-0 Delran. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Delran, New Jersey, everybody. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski. 1-0 Delran as we get set for second half action. And Tad, very dominant performance early on by Delran.
Yeah, you can say there's been little of Sterling offensively in this game. They really got to step it up. So hopefully whatever Coach Marley said motivates these boys and the tactics must change.
They switch ends of the field. Mike Sowers is going to be right in front of us. Sterling in need of a goal to keep their 2018 season alive. Trailing 1-0 on the goal by Cole Gifford, his 6th of the season.
And we do know that Sterling has the offensive players with the skill to do it. They just need a break.
Speaking of breaks here, Dromgoole working one-on-one with Loftus. Dromgoole now double team, tries to split the double team. Gets some help with Zuala and cleared away, as we've said many a time here today, by the defense of Delran.
And then we'll have to keep an eye on the tactics of Delran. Do they look to push up, or are they going to stay more in a defensive mode right now? Already they're a very defensive strong team. If they move somebody else back on D, it's going to be tough.
Chipped ahead nicely. Here comes Delran the other way. Delran tries to pitch it across and cannot. That was a nice run there by Cole Gifford, who has the only goal of the game for either squad.
And he's been doing a great job getting by the defenders, but give credit to Jake Scully right there. He got a step on Jake, but Jake was able to kind of push him off to the side and get a real tough angled shot off the right side of the net.
You can see our goaltender kicking his feet off the pole. This is definitely for the goalie. This is definitely the more muddy side of the field.
Zuala loses the handle. And we mentioned we started this game in sunny skies, and the cloud cover has creeped in. So that is a non-issue for the goalkeepers. There's rain expected tomorrow, which is, I think, one of the big reasons why they moved that girls' game at West Deptford up a day.
Yep.
The boys' football team is going to be in some trouble tomorrow night with the rain coming, and they're not going to be playing in such nice conditions.
Well, the good thing is that they're playing on a turf, and I think you're going to get some of the heavy rain in the afternoon, but it looks like there's some openings at night where you're not going to get it, and obviously we've seen how well the turf takes the rain in all the different turf fields.
I was just asking somebody, I've never seen a ball go over the screen. It took us about a minute and a half, and the ball went over the screen.
It's a beautiful setup that they have here at Delran. We're actually in the outfield of the baseball field directly to our left. So a multi-purpose field here. Tad, you got a chance to talk to the superintendent of Delran schools here. Some plans that they have. Nice shot just over the bar, Chris Hunt.
Yeah,
some plans that they want to increase the facilities here. And there's a baseball field behind us, some other things.
Yeah, they have a town ball complex behind us. They take great pride in what they're doing. He just said pretty much the same thing we had at Sterling, just way too much rain. And the fields themselves are just having a tough time fighting through it over this whole fall.
He said something like they got 17 inches of rain over the course of this season.
You can see as you look at that shot there, we are built up above the woods. But, Kevin, you mentioned in the girls' game the fact that you don't get a lot of sun here.
No, I mean, we got here a little bit after 2, and you could see the shadows start in front of that one goal, and that's why we're looking at a lot of mud there after probably, 3-4 days of dry weather.
And he said the other thing is they're built into wetlands back here, so it's very wet building anyway.
He said if you take a drone area and you kind of loop around, you'll see a lot of marshlands and wetland area. I'm sure that doesn't help.
Well, Sterling's going to get a free kick coming up. And I think this is going to be Sterling's shots. Whenever they get these free kicks or their throw-ins, I don't see them making their way down the field to score. I think their only shot is with these restarts.
It seems like there's a Delran defender at the end of every pass that Sterling attempts. Or if they are able to connect, there's a Delran defender right there on our forward to break it up, whereas Delran's connected on 4 and 5 passes in a row.
Lefty Scully serves it in from about 45 yards out. Still inside the 18. A kick save.
Wow.
And that was Sterling's opportunity right there. Halaglu had his hand on a couple of them. Nice service in from Jake Scully to create the opportunity.
Yeah, it looked like Aiden Drumgoole had an open opportunity there, just wasn't able to get his foot on it. They're not going to get too many of those opportunities. That was just an unfortunate one. He just wasn't able to get to it. But,
and Halaglu was down on that too.
Yeah.
Unlucky bounce there for Sterling. If you're Delran, you're breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief as the equalizer was on the foot of Drumgoole. Mentioned this in the first half, have not heard anything from Sterling's leading scorer, Brian Andrade. Has touched the ball a few times, and that's really about it, where he was the main guy that we were talking about for 80-plus minutes.
He'd be considered your point guard. The offense revolves around him, distribute to him, then he'll either distribute it back or take a shot. We haven't seen that at all today.
And give credit to Delran. They're keeping a lot of bodies around him.
Ball inside the 18. Gifford with a nice run looking for Vandermark. They couldn't connect, and Sterling clears it away, but Delran retrieves it again. Deflected now, here's Andrade. Off to his right for Zuala. Drumgoole can't control. Delran all over these loose balls, and now they're going to send it into the Sterling defensive half. Nice flick ahead for Frankie Taylor, the goal scorer. Or excuse me, as the assist on the goal, rather. Taylor didn't get the hips squared over, and the ball goes out of play, and Sterling going to make a substitution and bring in Yasir Yagmerkaya.
Well, Sterling was fortunate that Taylor really couldn't get a handle on that one, because one thing he's been doing throughout this game is showing the ability to get around the edge, but that one just got a little bit ahead of him.
And just as he was getting ready to kick, it looked like he slipped. Again, the area we're in, this quarter of the field is the dampest.
No updates from West Effort, still 2-2. As soon as we get those updates, we'll, of course, pass them along to you. Delran has an open man in Frankie Taylor right in front of us, working one-on-one with Michelli. Taylor wins the battle against Michelli, makes the turn. Taylor still shot and over the cage and into the tree and just barely came down. That looks like it may have gotten stuck in there.
Boy, guys, right in front of us, we got to see Taylor's ability to stop and start on a dime, how skillful he is with the ball, something we really didn't see close up because it was down the other end, but what a skilled player, what a playmaker, and came within a few feet of connecting with one of the forwards.
It's a beautiful step-over move right in front of us.
Oh, nice little flick off Hunt. Hunt against Michelli. Hunt backs it up for Taylor. Taylor keeps it. Nice job, Frankie Taylor, creating some space here. Left-footed service, goes across, still inside the middle, and score! Cole Gifford on the goal, and Delran leads 2-0.
And guys, as we were talking about Taylor, Taylor really was the key to that because he kept that ball in, got separation, spread things out a little bit, and was able to get the ball in the middle, and Delran finished from there.
It was just a matter of time, I think, Kevin. I think Sterling has just been really outmatched in this game.
Yeah.
Delran has controlled everything. We saw the near miss early on. I think it was just a matter of time, and now Sterling really has their work cut out for him.
And like we said, we're seeing close up the skill that is explaining why they're getting around the edge, why they're getting by defenders.
Well, if you thought it was tough before, Sterling now down 2-0 in this second-round playoff game against a really talented Delran team. And what that's going to make you up with down 2 is you have to push some more players up. You got to take more chances. In return, you're going to give up some more chances. But I think that's where we are right now. So Delran, with that 2-0 lead, they will set things back. Again, they've done actually a good job. I'll call it the keep away mode already. Push and play up and just moving around. Again, you'll hear Coach Marley's in the background with some of his instructions to his players, but just a dominating effort thus far for this Delran team as Sterling goes on a little bit of a run here across midfield. This is Dromgoole going down in the corner. But defensively, that is taken away once again and brought back up to mid. So a beautiful move there. Now Sterling on a free kick.
This is that opportunity that you feel like being down 2-0 with Delran really having all the momentum, completely outplaying Sterling. But you get this opportunity, you've got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they have to find a way to get a super quality shot going right now.
Cole Gifford picks up his second goal of the game and 7th of the season. The assist to Sean McLaughlin. Sterling, if they're going to have to sneak back into this game, they're going to need to capitalize on opportunities such as this. Renthang, Andrade for Scully. Scully sails it into the infield dirt and out of play.
It's just a tough play. His body momentum's going away from the net. The ball's up off the ground, and to try and get anything on that shot is very difficult.
And you have a defender right on you, so there's that sense of urgency to get rid of it, but tough to get a good hit on it.
We spoke in the open about how well Delran spreads their scoring around. Vandermark, their leading goal scorer, we've hardly mentioned his name, and Cole Gifford, 5th on their fifth on their goal scoring list coming into this, has now jumped up to a tie for 3rd.
Let's give Andrade some credit there. He fought, took the ball away, went on a move, and then got knocked down. Now we're getting some extracurricular from Delran here.
And if you're Delran, why are you getting into extracurriculars right now, up 2-0?
Well, especially here. Now, again, keep in mind the new rule, well, the rules the last 20 years, if you happen to get a red card, you're out the next game. And the other thing is, let a sleeping dog lie. Don't give him anything to get excited about.
Sent in by Sterling. Beautiful ball inside the 18, and now a whistle. Offside, Sterling.
Well, that was your opportunity right there if you were able to keep it onside and get a one-time opportunity. You got the ball on the pass to the middle where you wanted it.
Yeah, it was a good ball inside, just a little bit long.
And 2 restarts in the last couple minutes, but Sterling obviously hasn't been able to take advantage of it.
Nope.
Next goal in this game is huge, if there is one.
Yeah, Sterling has to find a way. Again, you have some skilled players who can do it. It's just this Delran defense and ball control is amazing.
Drum goal giving chase. Taylor, utilizing the open space that he has, runs into 2 players, and it's taken away by Yakimura.
And to tell you how good Taylor is, he had 3 Sterling defenders converging on him. And, obviously they're seeing what he was able to do in really creating that last scoring opportunity.
Foul on the far side against Chris Hunt. Sterling in need of is going to spin backwards, and now Scully's going to have to retreat. Push in the back, and that's an easy call. That goes against Vandermark.
Right in front of the official. Yeah, you're not going to get away with that one.
Not much to complain about on that.
No.
Who's going to bring the spark? I mean, to me, Andrade's your spark plug, but they have done a great job. I don't know if they're directly marking him, what they're doing directly with him, but, man, he just is not getting into the flow of this game.
We'll have to talk to Chuck in the truck and see if we can get an ISO cam on
the drone
Andrade.
Cam.
Yeah. Suffocating defense by Delran. Sterling has nowhere to go with the ball. Simon Renthang fires it into the back of a Delran player and goes out of play. Actually, deflected off of Sterling, and it will be a goal kick as Delran will dip into the bench and bring in for the first time Joe Mormando. Junior trots into the game and will replace Vandermark momentarily. Take a look at Frankie Taylor's jersey as he walks towards us.
Play physical, and as you alluded to, not afraid to get dirty.
That's him right there on the left side of your screen.
Not to sound like a broken record guys, but Delran has done a great job just possessing the ball. Sterling hasn't gotten set up offensively hardly at all.
I would absolutely agree. And here we go again.
Taylor sends it forward for Hunt. Hunt double teamed. Finds Taylor. Taylor wide open. Sal sends it back for Stroline. Sends a shot high and wide and out of play.
The shot went wide, but you were able to see Taylor work with Hunt. As Taylor saw the ball coming over before he got it, he knew he was getting the ball to Hunt. Hunt back to Taylor. Great give and go opportunity, but they're not able to finish. But just a little glimpse again of how well this Delran team works in the offensive end.
I believe is the head coach for Delran, who we heard at the conclusion of the girls' game, they had started their practice on the far end of the field while the teams were in their respective huddles post-game, and we could hear them practicing pretty hard.
Hey, he's a fan of what we do. He watched the highlights we did last year. He was very excited the fact we were able to come back to
good guy,
get a good game coverage. So again, he shows enthusiasm. I'll tell you what, his teams are always ready to play.
Long shot blocked away by Bocage. That takes some guts to get in front of that. Schulze.
Come on, Schulze. Oh.
One job, and he lets it hop over the fence.
That's it. I'm going home. I'm out of here.
Oh, my goodness.
I am out of
Not
here.
that we had it on TV or anything. Let's go to the instant replay.
But if I would have pulled away from the wire and yanked something out of our equipment and broken it, you would have been all over me for going for the ball. There's a no-win situation.
Listen, don't worry. It's in the poison ivy. Somebody will get it soon, okay? Don't worry about it.
Poor young lady with shorts and a T-shirt.
Oh, brother.
It was his turn for entertainment. Now it's your turn for entertainment, Rob.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I think you're up.
Yeah, I should be up. Unfortunately, I'm not funny, so.
Yes.
It's spread evenly.
Yes.
Another 50-50 battle won by Delran. Far side for Burrell. As we get an update from West Deptford, the girls are now down 3-2 in the second half.
I'm going to assume there's probably close to the same amount of time as we have here. So you're figuring roughly around, they're probably around the 20-minute mark, just to kind of guess.
Opportunity here goes out of play. Will be a corner kick, number 5 on the afternoon for Delran.
I think the difference between the girls and boys team, coming into the offseason, there were very high hopes for this boys team. The girls knew they were going to be very young and were going to try and put something together. The problem, though, with the boys team, they lost a lot of key players early.
Yeah, this girls' late season run kind of, in some ways, came from out of nowhere. I mean, nobody expected them to beat Haddonfield. And then coming here and beating Delran.
Burrell sends it in off a couple Delran heads. And now Chicalo, swing and a miss. And now Melitua. Meluda was giving chase and couldn't connect. And beautiful play defensively by Gifford. Gifford, little back heel there.
That would have been cool.
From McLaughlin. And sends it inside the 18, but off the head of Andrade defensively, but right to the foot of Stroline. Stroline to his left. Burrell. And now Delran will set things up. Plenty of time and space for Delran. Very patient trip down the field as they turn it over now, but somehow finds the foot of Delran.
Yeah, they are just so good with the. You could really get a good shot there about that 10 seconds ahead of this. Here we go.
Off the head of Michelli, who saves the day.
Yeah, McLaughlin was right there to bury it if Michelli didn't get it.
Nice trip down the field here for Delran. They've controlled. Sterling just can't get out of their own zone. Turnover here, Eastburn. Sends it to the corner. Scully there defensively to help, and it will be a goal kick. Just about halfway through this second half, Sterling trailing 2-0.
I'm just so impressed with this Delran team, especially now that the action's right in front of us.
Yeah.
They are so skilled.
Right.
We thought, there's got to be a difference from the team we saw last year because I guess their leading goal scorer was gone, but these kids can play.
Jared Kingett going to check into the game for Sterling, giving Brian Inclan a breather. at about the midway point of the second half. Kinga gets right into the action, working against Chris Hunt. Hunt onside.
Ooh.
And a foul against Sterling. Are they saying it's a throw?
Probably a throw.
Yeah, it looks like a throw. I saw the whistle and the hand go up. It's going to be a throw.
I just have a tough time looking down here at these standings, believing that Delran lost 5 times this year. And also have a tough time that there's anybody else in Group 2 South Jersey that's better than this Delran team.
Well, their history is, Rob, they play a lot of tough teams off their league schedule.
Well, it warranted them a number 2 seed, according to the selection committee.
And
on the other side of the bracket, all the top seeds still remain. Bordentown, Pleasantville is going on right now. Cinnaminson and Manasquan taking place right now as well. And the winner of this game will face either Haddonfield or Oakcrest. Push in the back.
Oh, boy.
By Matt Michelli, and no whistle. That was a clear-cut foul on Michelli, and no call.
A little further away from the ref than I think the last call on Delran.
Obviously,
off to the far side.
Everybody watching got a good look at that one over here on TV land. Sterling just can't even clear their half of the field.
So the changes that Delran made at the half are to put the clamps down, especially with a 2-goal lead here. You can just pretty much go in that defensive shell. I'm not going to use the word prevent defense here, Schulze, because that's not what's going on right now at all.
They're coming.
Chicalo. Senior has it picked off, and now Delran with space the other way.
I mean, I've said this in games before. It's almost like we're playing shorthanded.
Here comes the hockey reference. It does appear to be a Delran power play.
It does, the whole game. Everywhere you turn.
Skip in between. Ooh. Shot deflected away. Nice cut back by Kelsey Bocage, who sends it away to Delran.
Just playing keep away right now.
But again, they're still pressing the action. It's not like, I mean,
right,
the ball hasn't even gone past midfield.
No.
And that tells you, again, that's a great indication of how talented this Delran team is, because you've got some very good players on this Sterling team. This is your shot now. You got one to the goalie. Sowers needs to send one to the moon right now.
Took a quick glance at Matt Michelli. But you're right. I mean, they are putting the clamps down defensively, and it almost seems like if it's not a power play, it seems like there's 2 or 3 extra players for Delran on the field.
Here's Matt Michelli moving up into the play.
Michelli tried a little give and go with Andrade for Zuala. As Michelli to his left, tries to find him and loses the handle. And it deflects off of Zuala and out of play for a throw right in front of the Delran bench.
And one thing you can't do against this Delran team is get caught overhandling the ball. You do that, they're going to converge on you and get it going the other way. You get it, look ahead of the pack. Try for that through ball or any type of dump and chase situation.
Who's on throw? Aiden, just go. Don't stop. Good. Get up. Get up.
You can hear the communication that these teams have to have on the field at all times. Again, shout out to Chuck in the truck.
Some of the best audio people in the business are out here today.
We haven't mic'd up a player or a coach in a while.
Like, that would be interesting.
And I think one of the big differences, we're hitting the ball ahead just to an area, hoping someone will get there. They're hitting the ball ahead. They're looking for somebody and going specifically to somebody, and also doing a good job moving away from the ball, getting open.
Ronan Loftus went up against Zuala there and got the worst of it, and he goes down on 2 knees. And they're going to stop the clock momentarily and take a look at Ronan Loftus. Just about 15 minutes remaining. He went down hard, And the athletic training staff going to come out and take a look at him. If you're just joining us, Cole Gifford with a goal in each half gives Delran the 2-0 lead, and they will either face Haddonfield or Oakcrest in the second round, but Sterling wants to continue.
There's other teams that are closer than them, that are very close to them. They might be a 3 or 4 seed. You really look at it, it'd be a toss-up game, but these guys are going to be favored, I would think, in any game they play in the South Jersey tournament.
So much space for these Delran Bears. Good keep there, right in front of us by Alex Vasquez. Andrade finally gets his foot on the ball and elects to give it up to his right to Simon Renthang. Renthang about to be double teamed, thrown to the turf, and that's going to be a foul. I don't know what the Delran fans are complaining about, but that was obvious from about 100 feet away.
Yeah, we saw it from here.
And with Andrade being covered, you see them really trying to work to Renthang on that far side.
Scully on the restart, as he often does. Strong left foot on the way. Beautiful ball. Inside the 18, bouncing around, and a whistle. And a foul.
That's about the second or third time Sterling's been called for a foul on a what I would call a jump head ball situation.
And coming off a restart, so you know when they get their opportunities, it's off of the restarts pretty much.
And head coach Pete Marley's there, trying to figure out how to solve this Delran double-sided attack, Tad.
They have it all. They got it offensively, defensively. They're the better team right now. You can't take that away from them.
The only thing we haven't seen from them yet really is goaltending, and that has a credit to because of their defense.
There really hasn't been too many challenges.
Inside the 18 for Delran. Cleared away, deflected right in on Sowers. Right place, right time as Nick Eastburn took a shot that was deflected into the waiting arms of Michael Sowers, the junior.
I think what's even more impressive, a lot of teams, once they go up 1-0, go right on defense. They've just played their game.
Yeah.
And if they've done any adjustments, I'll tell you what, it doesn't show. They are just going right at Sterling.
Chicalo giving chase, and Chris Hunt just wisely, or excuse me, it's Brian Inclan, as Chris Hunt just wisely turns it away. You can hear the Delran coach say, treat it like a corner. Goes off of Andrade, tries to like half bicycle kick to center the ball, and they cannot. Delran going to bring in Frankie Taylor again. He's playing with a yellow card that he received in the first half, so he has to be careful.
Really, and again, we always talk about you getting possibly thrown out of a game where you missed the next game, so I'm sure that's been echoed to him from his coach in a pretty clear way.
You'd have to also think that that's maybe the reason why it took him so long to come back into the game. With a 2-0 lead, and you're in control comfortably here with just about 11 minutes remaining.
That's just smart coaching.
Pushing and shoving going on the far side. Ryan Burrell gets called for the foul. About 11 minutes remaining here in the second half. Glad you joined us here on Channel 19 at Sterling Radio. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski, and Chuck in the Truck. Bring you live.
Somebody just got a card. I believe that young man, number 11, possibly.
We'll see who jogs off.
Looks like number 11, Rob.
Sean McLaughlin, the senior midfielder, is going to trot off with a card. Nick Eastburn going to check in for McLaughlin.
The ref didn't like something over there.
So an opportunity here for Sterling on the restart to try and get on the board with under 10 remaining. Nice ball inside the far side of the 18, headed over by Andrade. I think he wanted more on that than he got, but a nice shot on frame for the first time in a lot of time, Kevin.
Yes, and if you get it there, you get a forward coming towards the net, anything can happen.
Here comes Taylor. Taylor one-on-one with Michelli. Taylor cuts it back inside. Nice defense by Michelli. Clears it forward. Taylor frustrated with himself, but a credit there to the great defense of Matt Michelli. Tromgul giving chase. And a battle there.
That was a battle.
Wow, Tromgul's doing a real good job pressuring the defender with the ball.
I was getting ready to give him 2 points for a takedown, but he held his balance.
Foul on Delran. They're going to have to move the ball back a little bit. Under 9 unofficially remaining here in the second half. 2 goals from Cole Gifford has Delran ahead by a pair.
We know what 10 yards is. It's been all game. We're going to keep doing it. He stays in front of the ball every time. Matt, get out of there.
You can hear some of the frustration from Coach Marley's. As that's an easy save by Burkan Halaglu. And now Delran on the counterattack, trying to find Hunt. Hunt on the far side. Scully's going to watch it go out of play. And a quick throw in. Knowing that they need 2 goals to tie, and Sterling turns it right back over. Or excuse me, Delran turns it right back over.
Now you're sending everybody up. You're at that time. It's time to go.
Yep.
Release the hounds. Ooh.
Shove there. Hip check by Jason Vandermark. No whistle on the play. Surprised there wasn't a whistle there against Vandermark. So both the boys and the girls find themselves trailing by a pair of goals in the second half of their respective quarterfinal South Jersey Group 2 runs. I haven't seen much of the girls' game, obviously, being here, but I wonder how they look down there at West Deptford.
Again, the difference in the 2 seasons is they're saying playing with house money. They had nothing to lose in that one. Sterling, again, knowing once they lost their 3 players, knew it was going to be a tough uphill battle, and they're giving what they can. Delran right now is just a better team. Is that against Sterling again?
Another one against Sterling. They kick the ball into the net.
That's the 4th one against
Frustrating, because if you're Sterling, that's what you want. You want to be in that area. You want to get the ball down there after restart. You're just not position yourself right. Yeah.
It'll be interesting for us. We won't be able to get to do it on the broadcast, but talk to Coach Marley's about his thoughts on that, because it looks like that's a seed that's been planted in the head by Delran. It's been working.
Yeah.
Sterling with a corner kick, only their second
we get
of
another,
the game.
We get another stoppage here, Rob. Here comes the referee in for something. He doesn't like something here. This Bocage?
Of the game, with just about 6.5 remaining in the second half. And an opportunity that was wasted there as they kick it.
If it's going to end, you say, at least a better team beat
Oh,
us.
no question about it.
You can't say, you know what, we left it. They're better.
And there were a lot of great memories from this team with winning the conference. We did the Hadfield game. That was a great memory. So it was just been and you're talking about a team, guys, who lost 2 very key players. So that has to play into your thinking about the season. But just a great job by these guys. Great job by Coach Marley's and his staff.
Yeah, they were underdogs coming into this game today against a strong team, hoping they could keep it going, and Delran just too much for them.
We don't have official stats in terms of shots on frame, but Sterling probably only 2 or 3 to really hang their hat on. Sent inside the 18, onside, play for Hunt. Hunt, shot, and a score.
Great hustle play there. Got it to the middle, and just Sterling seniors. We'll get to mention some of them in a little bit here, but some of our seniors, an outstanding career here at Sterling. Again, you're going to give them the division title this year, and a division that has Haddonfield in the division with it is always a major accomplishment. And then they just have to come back and look for next year on our broadcast area. This is going to do it for our fall season. The next sporting event you are going to see is either going to be girls or boys basketball or wrestling. So
Or football.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Kevin. We have football.
Friday.
Yeah, we have the playoff game with football. But our last one for the soccer then, so we'll have one more with footballs. They'll take on Haddonfield. But, like I said, I know the boys are going to be disappointed, but the bottom line is Delran was just a better team. There's
No
nothing you
question.
can do.
Yep.
And you just say, all right, we gave it our shot, and it's the way it goes sometimes.
And I was led to believe maybe, I'm looking at the record, and Tad, you mentioned it. Their 5 losses probably came to some
Really good
high-end teams. They, some of these very good teams in all sports in South Jersey will play outside of the state and really travel to tournaments that are elite tournaments. So the record really isn't indicative of how good this team is because, they're tough. Obviously, offensively, they're skilled, they're fast, they defend as well as any team we've seen.
So a pair of goals from Cole Gifford and one late here in the second from Daniel Stroline. Gives Delran a 3-0 lead. Just about 4 minutes remaining or so. Stroline and Gifford now tied for second on the team with 7 goals. Scully sends one inside the 18. Is going to go over the head of everybody, and the frustration starting to mount for this entire Sterling team who has just been silenced offensively.
Just not happening today, that's all. Sometimes. Again, it's one thing if you're playing against an opponent that you feel that you're even with, and I'm sure coming into the game, they feel like, hey, we're even with this team, but as the game played out, you can clearly see that Delran is just a superior team. And again, like Kevin said, don't be surprised if they take some hardware with them this season.
Again.
Yep.
Off the chest of Scully, leaves it for Sowers, and some miscommunication there. Able to avert danger. Gifford, with his 2 goals, sends it forward for Simon. You can hear Frankie Taylor running by looking for the cross, gets it off the foot of Vasquez, and it will be corner kick number 6 for Delran.
Taylor's going to sleep good tonight. He had a real good game.
Well, good news is they're going to get at least 4 days off in terms of games. Next game for them will be the South Jersey Group 2 semifinal against either Haddonfield or Oakcrest on Tuesday.
I'm going to sub for our young man here.
Ryan Burrell going to check out of the game. For all intent and purposes, his afternoon is complete. Taylor going to set it up with Chris Hunt directly in front of him. Andrade walks off the field. And Delran playing the time-wasting game. There'll be a Sterling throw. Scully sends it forward. A lot of these Sterling seniors going to come up a little bit short. But they did have, as you guys mentioned, a successful season winning the Colonial Conference.
Yeah, they get jackets.
Yep.
But I think what they really wanted, if they could trade the jackets for a South Jersey Group 2 title, I think they would take that.
And they're going to, most likely, they've beaten the team that Delran is going to play next. So that'll give Delran an idea of what they're up against, knowing that they beat Sterling and now a Haddonfield team coming up.
And the seniors are going to be taken out, and Coach Marley's is going to give the young guys an opportunity as Jake Scully.
You know what's
Nothing
the other
to hang your
team?
heads
You're
2 goals from Gifford, 1 from Stroline.
Gets a chance to look at some of the future players of Sterling here. Pat Green's a guy right here to our right, Kevin. We've seen some of him in this playoff season. He shows some definite promise for the future.
Yeah, a freshman getting some key playing time throughout the year.
So Delran will host either Haddonfield or Oakcrest in the South Jersey Group 2 semifinal on Tuesday.
There's Kazi down there, number 6, real quick young man. He's got some speed.
Not the super fans, not as vocal
No.
as they were a couple days ago.
Well, the team brought their A game. The super fans
Yeah.
didn't. The
Well,
team did.
it was a different type of game. I mean, there was a little bit more of back and forthness to it in that last game on Tuesday. But like we've been saying, I mean, it's pretty clear that Delran was just in charge of this game from the get-go.
Final moments of this one. The clock ticks down. Could be the final whistle against Sterling of the 2018 season. They'll go down as Colonial Conference champions for 2018
We're going to end it on the same field in our same location.
in consecutive years.
Yes.
And you can hear the official count it off. And that will do it. Delran shuts out Sterling 3-0 thanks to 2 goals from Cole Gifford and 1 from Daniel Stroline, and an amazing effort by Sterling, but clearly Delran a little bit too much for Sterling to handle.
Yeah, not much we can really say other than we've already said. Just looking at a Delran team just as a complete team in every way. They defend, they score, they're quick, they controlled the midfield, and just came away with a well-earned win.
Just glad we could be here to help bring the game to you. Wish best of luck to the graduating seniors, and until next season with soccer. That's going to do it.
So they'll line them up and get out of here, and we will do that as well. Once again, your final score, Delran 3, Sterling 0 in the quarterfinal of the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. They will face either Haddonfield or Oakcrest in the semifinal on Tuesday. I'd like to thank everybody for watching on YouTube. For Tad Kozaneski, Kevin Schulz, I'm Rob Strauss. Your final score, 3-0 Delran. We'll see you next time on Sterling High School Radio.